Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Saturday, the 3rd of September. With Robert Murray McShane's reading scheme, one of the chapters we read today is Psalm number 44, written by the sons of Korah. In it, they cry out to God because they're suffering, and the psalm ends with the encouraging thought, we are brought down to the dust, our bodies cling to the ground. Rise up and help us, rescue us, because of your unfailing love. And these people are calling on God to come to their help. But the psalm begins giving the grounds for their calling. It says, we have heard it with our ears, O God. Our ancestors have told us what you did in their days, in days long ago. With your hand you drove out the nations and planted our ancestors. You crushed the people and made our ancestors flourish. So the psalmist says, we have heard these stories. We've heard these stories of faith that our ancestors passed on, how you acted, what you did for them, what you did for the people before them, how you've worked in our history. And that gives us an idea of who you are. And now, God, we're calling for you to be like that for us today. And we've just in this church had a memorial service for one of our members who passed away a year ago, Liz Zylstra. And in the memorial service, people were reflecting on her life and how she'd been so involved in the church and so committed to the Lord, and the good things that she'd done, many of them unknown and sort of secretly just good deeds done around the place. And the number of people that were encouraged and helped and given lifts and transport by her. And it had this real sense of a person living out their faith and the impact that had on everybody else. And that impact is now being passed on. And as I thought of that and read the psalm of the people, thinking our ancestors have told us, we need to share those stories of faith and what people have done and what God has done through people, and how people have come to know God, and that has changed them and that's made a difference. And because of what God has done in their life, they've therefore made an impact on other people's lives. And when we think of what God has done and we share those stories and we think the God that worked in that person's life is the same God I'm praying to today. And what God has done back then, he can do again. And then with the psalmist, we can end up saying, rise up and help us, rescue us because of your unfailing love. So I give thanks to God for those people that you know that have had an impact, that have lived out their Christian life, never perfectly, but have been good examples of what a Christian is. And give thanks to God for those people that have impacted your life and helped you grow. And pray that our lives would be have an impact as well. And very often we won't know it, but we pass it on. So we hold on to the stories our ancestors have told us of what God has done. And we know he is the same God working with us today. Be encouraged by that thought and be blessed.